Yep. Right. Hi everyone. Great to see you. I'm seeing Pierre for the first time. Martine, Sumner's there. Hi Monica. How you going? Good. Okay. Let me start off. I will host disabled screen sharing. Have you done that, David?
I have.
Yeah. Can you enable it, please?
It's enabled now.
Thank you, my friend. Okay, so here we are. Here's our agenda. Okay, so the minutes of the AGM have been circulated. Anyone have any issues with those? All right, I'll take that as agreement. Someone like to move acceptance, please?
I will.
Was that Monica? It's Monica.
Yeah.
I'm only looking at a few people. Yeah. Okay. All right. Matters arising. I'm going to talk about in the President's report. Okay. So let me move on to that. Now back again to screen sharing. So where is my? I think this is it. Yes. Sorry. Okay. All right. We'll begin with the Shannon Award. I will only speak briefly to this, not out of any disrespect, but the Shannon Award is our now annual award for distinguished service to the discipline, and it's my great pleasure to announce that this year's award has been made to David Merritt. So David's here, I believe. I would only say that if you wanted a model of a scholar who's contributed more to the discipline than the discipline has given them, it's David. So I do want to thank David very much for a very long career of terrific service. There will be a longer tribute. I've solicited tributes from various people that will be up on the website just after the conference. Okay, so congratulations, David, and thanks very much. Okay, now editorial team. I've got information there about it. Sorry, I've got. Oh, sorry, my fault. I've got the wrong annual report. AGM 2020. Sorry, I had last year's. Thanks for not laughing at me. Okay, there we are, David Merritt. Yeah, okay, so the editorial team is unchanged. Thank you to everyone on the editorial team for your great work. The journal ranking situation, the Australian Business Deans Council, in its infinite wisdom, continues to rank AEHR as a level B journal, whereas the Australian Historical Association gave us their highest rank. So that is just something, when the next review comes out, we will just keep pushing. But it's good to know that we're regarded very highly, so within the history profession, and that is useful to know. Now, last year we talked about possible links with the Asian Historical Economics Society, and a matter arising from the last AGM was that I would enter into discussions with them. I've talked to Jewel Kim and Deben Ma, and there was certainly in principle interest, and Jewel and Deben had been instructed by their society to form a steering committee to talk about how that would, the implications of that. I think COVID delayed that process, and so it's still ongoing. And so I will very soon follow up with them and see how they are placed. So I will update the executive about that process. The next item is more or less a standing item. It's information about digitisation of past issues. If you're a current member, you'll have access. Your institution needs to pay a one-off fee to give you full access back to 1956. Okay, the Coghlan Prize went to Kota Ogasawara, Ian Gaisley, Eric Schneider for the best article published in AEHR on nutrition, crowding and disease amongst low-income households in Tokyo in 1930. We got a very nice message this morning from Kota, so that was very much appreciated. The Asia Pacific Prize for last year went to Weijia Li from UC Berkeley, who's now at Monash. I stress I was not part of the judging panel for that, and so thanks to Stephen, Martin and John for judging that. And the Butland Prize for this year, the panel there was Jim, Annika van Mosseveld, myself. The award we made there was to Peter Gibson of the University of Wollongong for his thesis on Chinese furniture manufacturers. Peter's published a couple of papers in AEHR already, and so yeah, it's very promising, promising young scholar. Now in 2021, we will publish dissertation summaries from 3 shortlisted candidates for the Butland Prize. This was Andrew Seltzer's initiative, and it's been a really good initiative that, speaking to Chris about, that he's welcomed. And on the strength of us getting 8 nominations for the Butland Prize this year, and so we could have made 8 awards. What we're going to do from now on is go to a 2-year cycle with Asia Pacific and Butland alternating, so that every year we will have dissertation summaries published. It's a bit of a gamble. It could mean that in some years we're not able to make an award, which would be unfortunate. So I'd like to ask everyone to use their networks to encourage people to nominate, both in history departments and economics departments. So the new call for papers, call for submissions and the closing dates, Asia Pacific, we've pushed it back to the end of December this year because it's for dissertations awarded last year or in 2021, and we'll publish the summaries next year. And then for the Butland Prize, we'll publish those in 2023. We'll also announce the McCarthy Prize. I can't recall the last year we awarded that prize. It'll be somewhere, but it's not in my time as president. So if you're aware of anyone who completed an honours thesis in 2019 or 2020, please encourage them to apply. So we'll update the website about that. I also need to update the list of former winners of those prizes, and I've been too busy to do that, but I will get onto that as soon as possible. So thank you to David for hosting this year. And David, we've talked about, if it's possible, if we can foresee 12 months in advance, that we could have this face-to-face next year in Perth.
Absolutely.
And Sumner, we talked previously about being in Hawaii. If we push that back to the following year, that would mean we'd avoid having 2 international conferences, assuming the World Economic History Conference in Paris goes ahead. So we're up in the air at the moment. Okay, the International Economic History Association, Simonville is taken over from Les Oxley as our nomination from the executive. Simon, are you there? Is Simon with us? I've only got a small number of people there.
Yes, I am. Hi, Lionel.
Have you heard anything back from them about that?
Not heard anything since I agreed to it at the last AGM.
Okay, well, I let Yariella Antron know that you were our nomination, and I also advised that we are not in a position to commit to making a bid to host the conference in future years. We've discussed that at the executive level, and certainly at present, we really don't have the resources to do that. We have no terms of office that expire. So I want to thank Claire for her work on social media. Also note with sadness the passing of Ian McLean and also of David Greasley. And there's some thanks that I make there, in particular to Florian, who I can see, you're a tireless worker, as well as Chris, Jim, Neil, great job as treasurer, and also Claire and Rachel. So that's the President's report, an express version. Any questions? All good?
Hi, it's Anneke here. I've just joined because I've got very dodgy internet where I am. I'm off grid, so I might come in and out occasionally. Is
that you, Anneke?
Yes, it's me.
Okay, all right. Yep, do you have any questions about the President's report?
No, I don't.
Okay. Good, thank you. All right, so I'll take it as read that that's accepted. Okay, thank you. Now I'll go back to, where are we up to now? Now I'm sharing screen again. So, prizes and awards I've covered. Neil, Treasurer's report.
Thanks, Lionel. Look, I'm not all that flash with Zoom, so I haven't got anything to put up on the screen.
Hang on a sec, mate.
I preclude what I'm saying. Oh, you've got it there.
Got it there.
These financial statements have been audited. I can't say I was rushed off my feet during the year. I think I had about 4 or 5 payments to make. In short, it's almost the same as I said last year, that really basically the thing that's knocking us around a bit is the fact that we have $100,000 in a deposit, which is earning, as we all know, very little interest at the moment. So, but we have ended up the year $1,600 higher than when we started. So we're still in a positive position, and we're bobbing around in the same expenditures that we've got, and we're bobbing around in the same place with the expenditures that we've got. We're not going down, but if interest rates increase in the future, we normally financial in the fixed deposit. The biggest items were the maintenance of the web page. There was payment for editing, and also
Oh, yes. What's he doing there?
Sorry. Can we all mute our microphones, please?
Back there.
Nope. He came racing down to the.
Oh.
Racing down to
Hello?
the.
Yeah.
Can we mute our microphones? Let me find out who's that talking.
Do you want me to pop him back in again? Come over there.
Sorry.
Please mute.
I had an emergency here.
Go ahead, Neil.
Yes, thanks. We did pay also $1,000 for the Butland lecture, and as I had some correspondence with you, Lionel, some Butland lecture participants don't. One of the conditions for the Butland lecture is that people submit their talk to the AEHR for inclusion. Some don't want to do that, so they don't get paid their $1,000. So we've saved, fortunately, we've saved $50,000 over the last couple of years with people not submitting papers. But we did pay Phil Hoffman for his paper in the United States. The only other sort of thing that might not so much come up, but when we're paying money overseas, like to Phil Hoffman or to Greenwood for the editing, some recipients are a bit, get a bit problematic about having to pay a fee for the international transfer. We pay the international transfer fee in Australia. There's also a receipt fee in the United States or wherever you are. So it might be worthwhile to maybe just to add $10 or $20 to their invoice so that we can just then say we're just transferring the money. But if that situation comes up, I'll liaise with Lionel and but the reports have been audited and they're up on the screen, and you can see there's not many transactions this year. Thank you, Lionel.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Neil. Any questions from anyone? Okay. Would anyone like to move that we accept the Treasurer's report?
I move.
Thank you, Martin. Anyone second? Thank you, Simon. Okay, no objections? Carried. Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Neil. Okay, this is really... so what are we up to now?
There he is.
Sorry, Treasurer's report. Okay, the AEHR Editor's report. Let me just check. Chris, I wasn't sure whether he was going to join us, but no. Chris has sent me... Sorry, Chris has sent the following report, which he's asked me to speak to. So, let's see. 2020, we had issues on Asian economic and demographic history, which was a FESRIF really to Professor Saito. Then we had the dissertation summaries in July, and then November we had a themed issue on business history that included a really good overview from Monica Kennelly. There's an announcement about the Coghlan Prize, which I've made already. And so there's thank yous to everyone on the editorial team, including Andy and also Claire. And there's a thank you also for people who've refereed. Just looking, I can see several familiar faces. Also, and there's also information about open access, and Chris has been in conversation with Wiley about this issue. So I'll put Chris's report, I'll make Chris's report available on the website, and if anyone wants to follow up those details, just send me an email and I'll send it off to you. I'm not sure if we need to vote to accept the editor's report, but does anyone have any issues or questions? I'll pass them on to Chris. Okay, all good. Back again, let me see. Okay, this is good. The only other issue is the next conference, which I've already sort of talked about. So Yeah, does anyone have anything they want to raise or ask about? I guess we're now under the category of other business.
Jim.
Yeah, Jim.
Sorry, just briefly, I should note an apology from Stephen Morgan. He sent that to me yesterday. I think that's the only apology I had, but I was busy scrambling to get everything ready and as we came in. So could I just ask, are there any other apologies for the record? No?
Okay, well, those of you on the executive, thank you for being a sounding board, and I'll certainly keep you posted as things come up. But let me see, I'm just looking around. Florian, yes.
Martine, you might try to help me remember, but I think with AusClio, the other workshop that kind of people are organizing, that will be at Melbourne. I think we talked John into them. So, and it's hopefully again sometime, hopefully November, probably sometime in October. Yeah, we will make announcements about that, but just to kind of like let people know that like, yeah, we'll continue that, and it will be again just at the usual time spot, around the usual time spot.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Stop laughing, Simon.
Can I just mention that we at the Centre for Economic History at the ANU, we do produce a regular newsletter, and I hope it goes on but we do welcome items from outside the ANU. We're not just we're sort of outward facing, not just inward looking. And you know, so if there are things that you think of interesting items or anything like that that you would like to see in a newsletter going around to 350 odd people around the world, we welcome the contribution. Also, we have a discussion paper series, which again, we are very happy to put discussion papers in if you have something that you'd like to give a bit more publicity to. It appears on the REPEC list, so it's it reaches a wider audience through that mechanism. Yeah, anything else you'd like? Yeah.
Thank you. Annika, can you mute yourself, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Florian?
This might be just a random thought with newsletters. I think if people have seminars at their places or in series that might have interesting broad economic history topics and are open to the public, or at least to academics, I guess Claire might be, it might be good to, if you forward that to Claire, so she could put it on Twitter, Facebook, and basically circulate it in that regard, so that people could be aware of other, like also with Tim, obviously it's only a quarter each half year or year, a quarter, so that with Claire, that might be a good way to kind of like publicize relevant, interesting seminars beyond just the kind of normal for your own department.
Yeah, just on that point, I suppose there's two main accounts, and we, Martine, who runs the centre at ANU, her account and our account cross-post and like each other's things, so it's a whole thing. And so anything that kind of comes to either of us would be really good. But yeah, if there's any events, or if you've got a job opening, I mean, who does? But any seminars or things like that, then send them my way. It doesn't actually have to be society business. As long as it's in the field, then we're interested.
Excellent.
Anyone else?
Just to add that we're happy to, you know, post conference advertisements, calls for papers and so on in the newsletter. As you say, it's only quarterly. But you know, we can give plenty of advance notice, and it does. I mean, one advantage of it is it does appear in people's email boxes. So you know, I presume that some people look at it anyway.
So Tim, are you going to do summary of this conference for the newsletter?
We absolutely will. As you may have seen, we did a couple of pages and announcing the conference and giving a direction to the program and highlighting Sasha Becker's Butlin lecture. We'll certainly do a conference report. Pierre van der Eng is our reporter for that, and so we're looking forward to seeing a good report. So that will be in the next issue, which is the last issue was January, so the next one is February, March, April. So that'll be it's a bit of a lag, I'm afraid, but we are only quarterly, so it will appear in the April issue.
Yeah, with the session coming up after lunch and other sessions, we've got quite a few young scholars presenting. So if you find someone's work really interesting, please flick them an email, encourage them to submit to the journal. You know, just it's a lot more difficult than if we were just meeting people over coffee and things like that. So yeah, we do this anyway. So, but yeah, I think give the younger people all the encouragement you can. Alrighty, I think it's nearly lunchtime, and so any other business?
Thank you.
Okay. So we're on again at 1:30. Simon, you're chairing the session.
Yes.
After lunch? Yeah, you're
Yep.
good? Okay, that means I can have a rest. So yeah, that'll be good. So yeah, thanks for those joining us from overseas. Thanks for staying up, Andy. And Sumner, you got, what time is it over there, Sumner?
Well, it's like 3:45 here in the afternoon. So
Oh, no,
it's easy for me.
And it's early morning, isn't it, Andy, over there?
It is getting very late, yeah, so I'm out of here.
Yeah, thanks for your contribution. Thanks for your work. Okay, thanks everyone. As I said, please encourage people to apply for both the prizes that and we'll have that information on the website soon. So enjoy the rest of the conference, and yeah, we'll see you at the sessions. Okay.
Well, I know.
All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you soon.